It is BKFC boss David Feldman, who has been a very busy man as of late. Hey, let me just jump right into it. Talk about these names. I mean, Ben Rothwell, Greg Hardy, most recently Felice Herrig. I mean, big, recognizable names from the MMA space coming to your organization. Now they haven't yet competed, but talk to me about kind of the impact these additions are having, because I feel like, man, you make announcements like this and people stand up and take notice.
Yeah, they certainly are, John. We got a lot of people reaching out to us now, and that's kind of what the goal of this was to get these guys and girls that really like to fight. I mean, and they got a good name and they got a good reputation, meaning a lot of people know about them. A lot of people know who they are, so they know to follow them, and they're going to come and fight. All three of these signings, they all come and fight. Like they're not guys or girls that are going to lay down and just get hit once and quit. They're fighting, and that's kind of what we want. And then we want everybody else to take notice, to kind of like we're in the league for all these kind of different competitors that are coming through now. We have some really big stuff coming up. Actually just almost done negotiating it today. I thought I was going to be able to pop it today, but it's not quite there. But some really big stuff, man. And I'm loving this journey. I'm loving what we're doing, and I think we have some really really big stuff coming up in the next 2 to 3 months.
I love it, man. I mean, I know you can't announce anything yet, but I guess with Rothwell, with Hardy, with Herrick, should we be expecting them to fight soon? Like, are these names that we should see in the ring soon, or should we put that on hold for a while? What are you thinking?
Now you'll probably have Ben. Ben will either be very late September or very early October, and then Hardy to follow right after that, and then Felice will probably be in the November December timeframe.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to it. So, listen, as you said, you kind of laid out what they bring to the table. They fight, right? And they have recognizable names. That's important to you as a promoter. But I guess, are these MMA veterans? I mean, is this becoming a major target for you, where you're kind of looking? I mean, I know you're looking all over the place, but it seems like it's trending more and more towards these big MMA names. Is that becoming a big target for you?
Well, I mean, it's a good target for us, but we also have a lot of the boxers that we're getting involved with right now. So I think I'm signing a former world champion boxer, actually as former as like 6 months ago, world champion, a lighter weight guy. But I'll be signing him today or tomorrow. When I sign it, I can announce that. I've got a big crossroads boxing versus MMA fight coming up against really a superstar in boxing right now. So that's going to pop any day. I think getting the boxing world over is really what's going to top it off for us. The MMA is great, and it was great to build our base on and to keep building our base on that. But now to also get the boxers to cross over, and I really wish I could announce this, but I've got a super. No one's going to believe the signing that I got. Hopefully tomorrow, the next day. It's not boxing or MMA in the Muay Thai world. We're announcing a crazy name there. So I think by getting these names from these different combat sports is going to really catapult where we're going, because it's going to make them all start watching what we're doing, not just the MMA fans, which are great, and they gave us the base to where we are now. But now if we can add the boxing fans in, add the Muay Thai fans in, add the kickboxing fans in, then we're really going to go over the top.
I love it. And what you're doing, I think, is fantastic. Working with, we got a lot to talk about, but I wanted to talk specifically about August 20th in London, right? Because this fight that you put together there, Michael Venompage versus Mike Perry, first of all, it was crazy. And I think MVP said it right. He said, look, it's the fight that nobody knew they wanted to see. And then it got announced. And now they're like, I got to see this. And I completely agree. But, this I thought was very imaginative, very creative. And I wanted to ask how difficult it was to get done, because I give kudos to you and I give kudos to Bellator as well for being able to say, hey, we'll let you use our guy while we're not keeping him busy. I think that's phenomenal for the athletes, but just how tough was it, to get everybody on the same page and get this done?
It wasn't really tough. They just wanted to know that we were able to fulfill the commitment that we laid out, and we showed them that we were, and we got it done. I mean, they were great to deal with. Really take my hat off to Mike Hogan. He's the guy that really got this done for me. So, man, thank you to Mike and, Scott for putting that final stamp on it. But at the end of the day, you said it best. It's great for us to be able to do this. Like, if I can't use my guys, I'm going to let them fight MMA, or I'm going to let them box, because I'm going to go let them make money. Now, if they're not fighting because they're turning fights down, then that's a different story. If they're not fighting because I can't offer them a fight, then I have to go let them make money. I mean, any promoter really should do that, and maybe a lot more people will follow suit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I love that attitude. Of course, the UFC is, I don't think they're ever going to do that. They've been, anti, co-promotion for years. It's not going to be, but there's a lot of other big promotions out there and a lot of other big names across these organizations. So are you open to working with basically anybody that's willing to do this kind of talent exchange with you?
Absolutely. I'm in a different spot right now. Like I'm in more of a spot like an MVP comes over to bare knuckle. Now a lot of MVP fans are going to know what BKFC is, right? I'm not in the spot where I can't just do a one off and then let him go again. I can do that now. I don't have to sign all these guys to multi-fight deals. Of course, the guys and girls that I'm looking to really build through this, then I want to sign them through multi-fight deals. But I think it's great. I I mean, if you're building a guy and putting a ton of money into building a guy, then you're probably not letting him fight another promotion. But if you're doing a one-off like I'm doing with this, and they allow the fighter to make good money and then move on, I'm all for it. And I think a lot of people should be for it. The UFC is not for it as much right now, but at the end of the day, they paved the way and they've done what they had to do. But I think as this pans out more, and if they don't have opportunities, they're going to allow them to do it. But the UFC has 50 events a year or 40 something events a year, so they have plenty of room and plenty of opportunities to keep their guys and girls busy.
Yeah, no question about it. Let me ask you about one more name on that London show. I mean, that's just a huge card going over to London. That's fantastic. Paige VanZant on there as well. Look, Paige is in an interesting spot here, and I just kind of want to get your take of where she is because she's a huge star. There's no question about it. She moves the needle. People are interested in what she's doing, but I kind of feel like maybe she's in a little bit of a must-win situation here. I mean, does she start reconsidering things if she doesn't get a win? Where do you think she is right now in her combat sports career? And do you feel like this is a type of fight like she has to win?
I mean, I think it's a fight that she certainly has to perform extremely well in. Like I said on another interview, if it's a great fight and she loses a close decision or something like that, then maybe we can take a look at it. But if it's something that she's not in the fight and, she's not really competitive, then it's probably the end of the road for her here at BKFC. But, the one thing I like about Paige is she likes to test herself. She doesn't have to do this financially anymore. She doesn't have to ever get hit in the face again, ever financially. But she wants to do it because it's something that's burning inside of her, and she wants to show that she can win. So if she comes out and puts on a great performance and has a win, we have a great conversation. And if not, then we're gonna have a difficult conversation. But I really like Paige. I like her husband. I like her whole team. They're great people. They're easy to deal with, and it's something that I think is going to take this card like the little cherry on top for this card.
I love it. Yeah, it's an interesting spot for her because, like you said, she is a fighter at heart, but she has all these other options on the table. And man, if you
Yeah.
can make money without getting punched in the face, go take those checks, right?
All right, absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, I think it says something about her, right? Because she doesn't really have to do this anymore. And to test herself, I don't think she's going to come in here, test herself, and not be 100% fully ready for this test. I don't think she's going to put herself in that position. But if she does, then that's probably the end of the road, like we said. But if she doesn't, then we're going to continue with her and do great things. Like I said, she's always been great to work with. She still is great to work with. She wants to promote the company and promote herself. So, it's something that we like.
Yeah, respect it. All right. Well, somebody that has passed every single test that gets thrown their way. Luis Palomino, man. This guy, pound for pound, number one in the sport right now. 2 different belts. I mean, a guy that the MMA community always loved, especially his wars with Justin Gaethje, but now he's carving out this own niche for himself. I mean, he is, again, to me, he's the pound for pound best in the sport right now. Where does he go from here? I mean, he's got 2 belts. Do you start looking at, is there a 3rd belt for him, or do you got to we got to go chase down some talent in other organizations? Like, what's the plan for Luis Palomino, who is looking fantastic for you guys?
Yeah, we're gonna bring some other names in. So we have some stuff lined up for him. I think first and foremost, we're gonna do a homecoming for him in his home country of Peru. We're looking at that at the end of October or beginning of November. So that's going to be something that we're doing for him. Taking one of our current bare knuckle fighters over there, and he'll defend his 155 over there. He fought a great fight against Elvin Brito, but I mean, take nothing away from Elvin Brito. A lot of people thought it was a very controversial decision. I thought Luis won the fight closely, but I thought, he won. And Elvin Brito did way better than a lot of people anticipated he was going to do. Not only was it competitive, but he actually was in there and he fought the entire time. So he'll be back as well, and he'll be in the 165-pound title hunt probably pretty soon. But Luis Palomino figured this game out. He kind of understands what you have to do. He goes in, he does his thing. He doesn't break his hands. He doesn't get hurt. He's technical and a brawler. He's really everything about bare knuckle. He kind of personifies what a BKFC fighter is all about. So I take my hat off to Luis, and we're kind of giving back to him now by going down to Peru, and hopefully it's a great show. I think we're going to be in a stadium that houses 20,000 people, and he thinks we're going to fill the stadium. So that would be tremendous for the sport, tremendous for BKFC, and tremendous for Luis Palomino.
What a special night that's going to be. What will you do there, Dave? Are you going to find like local talent there, or will you bring, your rostered fighters down there? What's the plan for that show?
We'll probably find a lot of Central and South American talent for the undercard and the beginning of the main card, but the top, 4 fights or so will all be people that we bring in.
That's going to be a great night for Luis, man. What a scene that will be. All right, but listen, what's coming up right now? You got Tampa on July 23rd, right? You got Albuquerque on August 27th, so a couple domestic dates. What do people need to know about those? What's the angle that you need to make people aware of right now for those 2 upcoming shows?
Next Friday night on the brand new BKFC app, which we just tested, everything is running fine with it. It's awesome. It's robust. It's going to deliver the picture. It's going to give you everything that you need to see on it. Please download that BKFC app. We have Jared Grant taking on Reggie Barnett. Jared Grant is our interim 135-pound champ, and Reggie Barnett has fought Johnny Bedford twice for the championship, and now these guys get to meet for interim championship. Johnny Bedford will be back probably in October, and maybe he'll fight the winner of this show, but that's going to be a great fight. We also have Jared Warren will be taking on Jomi Escoboza, both guys that are very talented and bare knuckle. That'll be for the 185-pound eliminator championship, for the championship. And then we have in Albuquerque, after the August 20th event that we have in London, we have August 27th. We'll be in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Taylor Starring versus Christine Faria for the women's 125-pound championship. Just another great night. That one's loaded with a lot of great fighters in a great fight town. I can't wait to be there as well. But this next Friday night, the low-hanging fruit is Tampa, July 23rd, BKFC Fight Night Tampa 2. Jared Grant versus Reggie Barnett. You can get your tickets, get all your information at bkfc.com.
Love it. And as far as the rest of this year, I understand there's a trip to Colorado planned in October. What else is on the schedule? I mean, there's a ton of dates already, and now you're talking about going international again. But what can you tease for the rest of this year?
Yeah, we got October 15th. Will be in right outside of Denver, Colorado. September, we're going to be in. We're going to go back to Montana. We're going to do Joe Riggs' retirement fight out there, and then we're going to, like I said, we're going to have Ben Rothwell and Greg Hardy make their debuts. We got another new state. It's going to be open any day. We're going to. It looks like September 17th. We're going to open up a new state and go to New Orleans, Louisiana on that show. That should be a great one as well. So we're right here in the last quarter of the year, we're going to open up 3 or 4 new states, which is tremendous for us. Go to a new country, and then we're actually probably going to go back to London in November, and then we're going to go to Ireland at the end of February, and Italy in May, and then we're if this war stops with Ukraine and Russia, we will be launching BKFC Russia. So we have a lot of really big plans really throughout the world right now. It's just unbelievable to even talk about because we did our first fight in an ice rink. Actually, our first fight, my office is right outside of Philadelphia, and literally 3 blocks away from here, I did my first underground fight in a warehouse over there about 9 years ago. It was unbelievable, and we're right here, and now we're talking about going around the world. It's incredible.
I guess the statute of limitations has passed. It's okay to talk about doing the underground fight in the warehouse now?
Yeah. I got 4 years on that, so I was able to talk about that now. I was always they were the best fights you've ever seen, John. It was unbelievable, man. But, I mean, it's what got people talking about this sport. That kind of stuff got them talking about it, and we were able to do it right and do it legal and get it sanctioned and make sure all the fighters were medically fit and got all the medical tests they have and give them all the, really look after them and give them everything that they need to grow the sport.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, I'll let you go. I know you're a busy man. It's just going to get even busier. Any last teases, news, anything that we need to know, or is it just all right now, July 23rd, and then just pay attention because they're going to come fast and furious after that?
Yeah, man. Just keep on the lookout for BKFC. Like I said, you get all your information at bkfc.com, but we're going to have a big announcement here this week. Actually, hopefully 2. big announcements about some signings for BKFC, so keep on the lookout for that. Like I said, we're just pushing forward. We're gaining a bigger and bigger fan base everywhere around the United States and around the world. So, thank you to all the fans, all the fighters, and you guys, the media, for the support to make this sport grow. Man, I really appreciate it, John.
We always appreciate the time, man. Big things on the horizon, Dave. Thanks for the time as always, man.
Thank you. Take care.